So pre-show, a few hours ago during NFL Sunday, there was a little rumor going around about an unhappy superstar and a certain team that may or may not be willing to make an offer potentially down the road for this unhappy superstar. We've talked about it, Giannis. We did a little fake trade, me and Sheldon, a few episodes ago, and trying to figure out where Giannis could go, and then Houston came up because obviously Sheldon is another Rockets fan that we have on this wonderful platform that we have. I need to find some Mavericks fans. They need to balance us out. It's getting rough. But Sheldon laid it out, and he's like, we have picks. We have young players. Like, we have everything except for, like, salary filler unless they're going to take Fred VanVleet. Like, because you have to completely match the salary. So that is one thing. That's an obstacle. Because you got to have, like, Dylan Brooks in there, and then, like, I guess, like, Şengün or Jalen Green would have to be in it now just to match the salary. And then maybe one more player, and then you could just do like 2 picks if you did that, as opposed to like 6 picks. But they don't have any picks, so maybe they just want more picks and then salary filler, so they take Fred VanVleet. You know, there's that. But Houston, they did the whole trade this offseason with Brooklyn to give Brooklyn back their picks, and Houston got Phoenix's picks. Questionable at the time. Everyone was questioning it in our group chats, including you. And it's like, I don't necessarily get it unless you're doing a trade immediately. And they didn't. We're months away from that now. Like, that was June, July that happened. Yeah. So it's been a while since that trade happened, and now they're just sitting on these Phoenix picks, which they theoretically could be good in the future. But as of right now, Phoenix is an awesome team. Like, they were 8-1 the other day. They were 7-1. I can't remember, but like, they're a very good basketball team, obviously, because they have Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. Yeah, that's gonna win you a good number of games. So as long as they're still happy in Phoenix, the picks don't look as good. Obviously, Kevin Durant's a little bit older. Injuries are a concern. The calf strain, obviously. But you still have picks. So Giannis to Houston is not out of the realm of possibility if Giannis wants to go there and if Milwaukee wants to actually deal Giannis, because they could just not trade him.
And that would be hell for
hold them hostage. Like, they could. No team has done it yet.
This would be hell for all basketball fans, and I'm tired of thinking that there's going to be this next big thing with the Rockets instead of just letting them grow. I mean, we like we've talked about even in the summer. I mean, seeing the Rockets get 4 of those first round picks back, sure, it's cool, but in your brain, you're like, are they going to trade for 2 years of Kevin Durant off of these 4 picks? Are they going to trade 3 years of 2 or 3 years of Jimmy Butler for these picks? And what the fuck is going on? But now that there's actually
a tangible
dare I say like real rumors and a tangible superstar, like you said, brother, blank check. I mean, at this point, blank check. I mean, sure, it would be tough, and I know Sheldon just threw it all out for you, but at this point, the only thing that I could really think that could maybe work is either Şengün goes or Jalen Green plus 2 or 3 other guys go, plus 4 to 5 picks. It's like, are you going to give up half of your main core, or are you going to give up a bunch of picks in Şengün? What could possibly work here? It all depends on how Giannis feels, and if the Bucks stink this year, especially with Damian Lillard, who is, I mean, I know he's nearing the end of his prime, but this team should be working right now, and the fact that it's not is kind of alarming. So we'll look at this come, of course, February. I know Giannis probably won't be traded this year. I don't think he legally can be traded this year, but we'll see how they are come February. If they're 10 games under 500 or just hovering around 500, we might have to take a long, deep look at what's going on over there. Seeing Bleacher Report just be so untapped into basketball, and then being like, the Rockets can trade Dylan Brooks and Tari Eason for Chris Middleton in a first rounder. No, I'm okay.
No,
thank you.
Want that.
I appreciate it. I'm okay. I don't think anyone would want that.
No. I mean, the Bucks would want that.
Yes, it's terrifying. There's so much going on in the GM world that we'll never really understand or see. So all we can go off is his rumors. But damn it, Giannis is going to have to take a haul and a half. I mean, we can go Anthony Davis mode and say that's a haul, folks, but it's going to be probably double what we've seen from that trade.
Yeah, and I finally think that we're entering the era of European stars not caring to stay with a team for the rest of their career. Like, obviously with Dirk and Other players in the past, like the European guys, they get to a team and they're just gonna stay there forever, no matter what. Like no matter what their salary is, like they're just gonna keep staying there. Like Giannis isn't getting paid $60 million like a lot of these other players. Like he's getting paid 40, 42, which isn't insignificant in any way, shape, or form, but $20 million is a large sum of money in comparison to different superstars. I think it's like $42.9 million, maybe, is what he's getting. And he recently signed a contract in the last couple of years, like an extension with them. I think it was last summer that he signed an extension. But um, so that's a little rough, when you're an MVP, defensive player of the year, like you got all the things, a finals MVP and a finals championship. Like when you're getting paid that little in comparison to other players that have done that, it's interesting because like we haven't seen a guy take less in a long time. Right? When was the last superstar other than Dirk that you saw someone that just like took significantly less money than what they were worth?
I mean, David West taking a veteran minimum to go to Golden State,
Right. That's my point. Like
to go to the Warriors. That's it.
Kawhi Leonard wouldn't take less. Paul George didn't take less. Like none of these guys are just taking less just to build a championship caliber team. And Giannis technically did. He wanted to keep winning. So I think he took less money because he wanted to stay in Milwaukee. He wanted to keep winning there. They ended up trading Drew Holiday for Damian Lillard. That didn't work out. Giannis keeps getting hurt like at the wrong time in the last couple of years, and that doesn't help. Yeah, and then he doesn't like the coach, so they're like, "Yeah, we'll give you whatever coach you want." He said Doc Rivers. So maybe we should stop letting players run the asylum.
The LeBron James effect. It's tiring me out. It's tiring NBA fans out, and I think that of course, we love our Pookie, we love our GOAT, we love our LeBron, but this is setting a strange precedent if you can't back it up with results on the court. And not that it's necessarily Giannis's fault. I mean, other than him taking a nearly contested deep two to attempt to win the game, and Eric Collins, Charlotte Hornets announcer legend, just saying "good defense" right before the shot even went up. These are moments that you cannot replicate. And Giannis not being in the East, or maybe finding a change of scenery, could be good for him, because maybe we will have either no moments like this anymore, or just everything will get under I'm so excited to see what can happen, especially with how bad the Eastern Conference is. And man, Giannis being away and at a competitive enough team, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling what's going on, even if it's not the Rockets. I'm genuinely excited, because the East has been a shit show. We've talked about it. We somehow managed to get 40 minutes out on the East before the season started. I don't know how we did that. I think that was really impressive
All-time
on our
episode
part.
just because we made it through.
We made it through, and we didn't complain until we were off camera. And I
The
think
last
that's really
three teams
important.
we started complaining, but that's okay.
Yeah,
It's
a little bit. I love it. And that's the best thing about it, especially, Milwaukee, and we can even look at Philly right now. Like there's so many teams with great players, and you can even look at Toronto. People are saying they're rebuilding the ethical way. I mean, they're essentially keeping Scotty Barnes on ice, while putting out a bunch of other like pretty good players. And dare I say, Jakob Poeltl is a great player too. The NBA will just continue to get better and better and better. And obviously Giannis, as the years go by, I think he's in year 12 at this point. So he's kind of entering the prime of his prime, and it has like 3 to 5 more years on his prime. Like, go win something, brother. But if it's the Rockets, sure. If it's not, then so be it. I don't really imagine him being in a small market, but I don't really imagine him being anywhere other than Milwaukee, or maybe, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. So it's going to take months for this to get figured out, and who knows? He might not even go anywhere. But I'm excited to see what's going to happen, especially if the Rockets try and come out with a package. I couldn't tell you what it could be, but damn it, I think Raphael Stone will try. That's all we can hope for.
Yeah, and I think if you don't try, you need to find a new GM, like all teams across the board. I think every team should be
Yeah.
trying to get Giannis this offseason if that becomes available. Like if they just stink, they miss the playoffs, or they're an 8 seed, they get bounced in the first round or in the play-in. Like those things need to happen from all other 29 teams. All other 29 teams need to be calling. And if your GM isn't calling, even just to get hung up on, like at least you put in the effort. Like
Oh, of
because the
course, of
Mavericks,
course.
they don't really have anything. to trade for Giannis. Like we could get salary match. We don't have enough picks. We don't have enough firepower. Whatever it may be. Like if Nico isn't calling, then I'm gonna be like, what are we doing? I know we're not gonna get him, but you need to call. You just need to leave a voicemail. You can get denied even if you just try to call. Like they buzz it in. The assistant's like, hey, we got Nico on line 1. He goes, Dallas? No. What are they gonna give us? And he just doesn't even accept the call. That's fine. But every team needs to be calling for Giannis, including Houston, especially
Oh yeah.
Houston, because you have everything that any team that would trade a superstar, you have all of the things to offer them. You have young players, you have picks. You could figure that out. I don't know if it'd be quick, but you could figure it out fairly quickly. You take a week, go through the roster, you could find it. You could do it. I don't know.
I can't even tell you. I mean, I know we have this new moniker, the Terror Twins, and I think it's really important to not only have defense, not only have these defensive-minded guards, because that's so important and such a over the past, especially like 15, 20 years, really since like Gary Payton and even you can pinpoint Rajon Rondo, Tony Allen, whatever. Like having guys like that is really important, and everyone seems to know their role right now. The Rockets are 8 or 9 and 4, and we're in the third position in the West. I think that's really, really important. You don't want to, let's say come April, May, let's say the Rockets have above 50 wins. Like you're not going to tear that down for a chance at Giannis, or maybe you are, and we can look back on this in years and, laugh about it. But it's going to take a lot. And I don't really know where the Bucks are going to kind of meet us in the middle on. It's going to take a lot, and I don't know. I don't know. I'm happy with the Rockets right now, and I know that things are getting better, and a lot of teams would kill to be in our position, and I don't really want to kill that momentum. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it's different for Rockets fans and some other teams around the league, like the Raptors. Like you drafted these players or you traded for them fairly early on. They've been with your team for a few seasons now. You've grown to love them, the way they play basketball and the way that they've grown and everything. So you have a sentimental attachment to certain players, and it's harder to look at it objectively to be like Giannis is a top 3 NBA player, and if you could get him, would it be okay to trade a couple of the guys that you just absolutely adore and then you love the way they play? Like if the Bucks are like, we need Tari Eason and Amin Thompson, and then all the picks, everyone's going to be panic city. And then you get it, if it goes through, and then that's what happens, and then all of a sudden Giannis is on your team, you're going to forget about those guys 20 games into the season. You're not going to think about them anymore. You're just going to be like, Giannis is on my team. This is sick. But to do that trade, it would hurt. It would hurt Rockets fans. It would hurt their feelings just because those guys they're fun to watch. They're fun to see grow on your teams. Like Tari Eason, objectively, is one of your best players on the Rockets.
Sick.
Like he's a
Sick.
top 2, maybe not 2. Like he's incredible. I love Tari Eason, and then Amin Thompson. He's a freak, and we don't even know what he's going to end up being. We don't know what Tari Eason's going to end up being. Like Tari Eason could be the steal of the draft in that year, and just go on to have one of the better careers out of that draft. And we just don't know yet. Like it's been 3 years? This is his third year, and Amin Thompson's second year, maybe, or is it both their second year? I can't remember.
I think yeah, exactly.
They're fun.
You see these guys, and I know it. You could have 3 to 6 games where they all just go crazy, and all of your previous thoughts and opinions are totally changed about them. But last season, Amin Thompson he had those spurts and he had the athleticism. Obviously, there's no shot, and if he can figure out, and I'm saying last year into even this year, there's no shot. But that being said, there's so much that you can do with a build like that, with a mold like that. It's almost like Ben Simmons, who is faster, arguably stronger. And I'm not saying like current Ben Simmons stronger. I'm saying like prime first season Ben Simmons,
All NBA,
first second
All NBA Ben Simmons,
there it is.
half a decade ago.
Yeah, and I love it. That's the thing about especially the NBA is the allure behind. Oh, what can this person become? I mean, you're even having like half of the Grizzlies players who either sucked last year or are finding their new spots this year. You're like, oh shit, these guys are pretty good. And same thing with the Rockets players. Same things with a lot of growing up and coming teams. I mean, especially teams with no current star, no current guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Of course, we have Jalen Green, and of course, we have Alperen Şengün. But it's so much deeper than that. And I hate seeing the slam article on Twitter that was like Jalen Green is leading the Rockets to a 9-4 record. I'm like, brother. watch the games. Have your intern watch all 13 Rockets games in one sitting. Put him on 2 times speed for the kid. Give him some water. Tell him have a good day. You know what I mean? Just watch these Rockets play. And obviously, Jalen Green hasn't played great. He's had his spurts like he's always had. And I hate to, you know, I know you're not a fan of Jalen Green. I've tried my best to cope for the kid. I've tried my best to worry about his future, and it's kind of starting. He's starting to lose me, and I can't believe it's taken 4 years, but he's really starting to lose me at this point. I'm not saying that he's taking bad, because the first 2 years he was taking really bad shots.
Yeah. But there was
2 years
nothing
after
there.
that,
I have to stand up. There was nothing there for him to work with. And they were like, I don't know, just play basketball, do things.
there's no keys. You have the keys essentially, and now it's like you're taking better shots and you're becoming a better player, but you're not making the better shots. So that's the problem. And man, I feel bad for the kid, but he's still busting ass, and he's happy that our team's winning. And he could score 0 points, and as long as our team wins, he'll be happy. Like, you want players like that on your team. I'm not saying Jalen Green is a liability or a bad player, because he's not. Like, there's maybe like 12 to 17 other shooting guards in this league that I'd want, even on a nightly basis, above Jalen Green. So that being said, give me Jalen Green. Like,
Yep.
let him play it out. Let him see what happens. We can afford to kind of let these, I don't dare I say, experiments continue. I mean, I know it's been 4 years. We're going on year 4, but man, praying for the kid. I know he's going to go crazy here soon. I think he might have a little month of December, January, and we might, everything might be right behind us. All he has to do is just make those shots, because he's a better basketball player. He just got to make them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I wonder if he had his March in like January last year. Does that continue
Right.
on? Like, does he just continue to have a great season the second half of the year? Like, that kind of stuff. So if he can get hot
Right.
for a week or two, and then all of a sudden you're like, okay, we've got a consistent Jalen Green. I think that's what you're looking for, is consistency with him.
Of
And
course.
because he's getting better as a player, he's getting smarter as a player, which comes with time and it comes with playing experience. And he's been fun to watch. He's a fun player to watch, just because of how athletic he is and all the crazy shit he can do athletically. Like, that part is fun. You just want him to not be dumb, and he's getting better at not being dumb. So I think that's a plus for Rockets fans.
Yes.
But
Yes.
I digress. Houston, Giannis rumors, I think they're just going to keep happening the rest of the year, because they're the one reasonable team that has assets for Giannis to go to build around something, to try to win more championships, because the other teams it's basically Brooklyn. And then Miami is always in the mix, because Miami wants to be in the mix for every superstar, regardless of what they do or do not have in their asset branch. So, yeah, that'll be fun.